Racetrack has good breakfast. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. It's Casually Toxic, episode 15 maybe? Something like that.
It's 15.
Yeah, 15.
Oh, that's exciting. I was
April
gone, so.
You were gone.
29th. You know, I should have known it was the 29th because my brother's birthday yesterday. So.
Oh.
Yeah, you really
Happy
should
birthday to Amir. He's 30 now.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. We're here to talk about some bullshit, including Billy Mitchell. Did you guys see King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters?
Yeah, I did.
That's the dude.
Oh, that's the dude?
That's the guy.
Huh.
Yeah, and it turns out he was lying to everybody. People are dumb as fuck. And apparently he could only get the high scores by playing on rigged machines. Actually, what I heard happened, if they wanted to spin it into a more of a redemption, or not a redemption, but of the rise and fall of a person, is that originally he was the OG and he did have all the records, and then as younger people came in and broke his records, he was like, I gotta be the Donkey Kong guy. So then he turned to cheating.
I mean, I guess I kind of have probably a twisted mentality on this, in that if he cheated for that long that successfully, I can't even.
I'm totally down with cheating in any fashion at all. To me, cheating is cheating is a part of the game. Any game,
I agree.
Part of the game. No, getting caught is when you fail.
Yeah,
no, that is.
But otherwise, cheating is especially
if we never caught this dude, he'd still be at the top, and everyone would be like, "Oh, Billy Mitchell, Donkey Kong guy." You know, we don't even know who the fucking guy is who has the records.
He was already accused of cheating. It was just getting to the point where you could actually prove that he was cheating.
Yeah, but
I mean, without incriminating myself too much here, but just being in
you've already incriminated yourself.
Being in the computer science program at my university, it's built on cheating. The best computer science students are the best cheaters. That's just
why? Because they go to Stack Overflow, or what do you mean?
No, just in terms of tests. You take online classes, so you have online tests, so you have resources.
All the resources available to you. That's what cheating is using all the somebody came up and they were like, "Man, you shouldn't do this and this," and it's if I don't get caught, then I fucking get a better grade and nothing happens.
I'm vaguely surprised we agree on this, Cirrus, but
I'm totally down with cheating.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
people like
fine.
you even exist. That doesn't even make any sense.
Cheating,
it's
what
the
do you
whole
think
point of a game or a competition is to
win.
No, it's to
play to win.
It's to have a good game and
Ian,
actually be better than
what do you think successful businesses do?
I'm not. Why are we comparing video games to businesses?
Well, we're talking about cheating in general and competition.
Yeah. I think it's bullshit all around. What do you mean? I mean, I get that businesses cheat all the time
cheating
and break the law, but that doesn't mean it's okay.
Cheating is an integral part of success.
Doesn't mean it's okay.
No, it's not okay, but don't you want to win? You will never beat somebody who's cheating against you if you're playing fairly.
I'm never going to be I know this isn't businesses. I'm never going to play a league game. Enemy Zareth is scripting. I'm never going to be damn, I should cheat.
What if you knew 100% you could get away with it and you would...
Still wouldn't do it because then it's not fun for me. It's not. I'm not getting better.
At that point, it's not. What if you have sponsors and you're going to lose a $50,000 sponsorship and you found a way to cheat? You know you can't get caught and you can win the tournament and save your entire team complete loss of sponsorship.
I still wouldn't do that. I honestly still would not do that.
Well, then you're a good person and I salute you.
But that's not being a good... That's just the whole point is you're supposed to play the game, have fun, legitimately be better than somebody. That's why
sometimes
that's why
when
CSGO,
dollars are involved, it's not about fun.
CSGO to me is so up in the air to watch because it's there's been so many cheating scandals. It's I don't want to fucking watch this shit.
That's fair.
It's everybody and their mother is some kind of cheating. It's it's not fun if if everybody's cheating, it's not even a sport. It's just whoa, who can...
Let me tell you about baseball.
No, I get
in
it,
the mid-2000s, when everybody was on fucking steroids. Baseball, from its inception until the mid-2000s, when everybody was on fucking steroids and everybody was cheating, and the game was so much better. People hit crazy amounts of fucking home runs. Dudes like Ken Giffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, that shit was awesome. And then they had the big congressional hearing, and now people don't do steroids as much, and it's not as fun to watch.
Also, I'm going to take this to the next level right now. Let me tell you about war.
Let me tell you about the founding of this country.
I'm not going to be patronized by people that believe cheating is okay. That's fundamentally
If George
incorrect.
Washington didn't decide to cheat, the U.S. would not exist. Yeah. They attacked the Brits on Christmas Day. It's a war
We're literally talking about cheating in a fucking Donkey Kong video game, somehow you took it to fucking businesses, which was
talking about
absolutely
cheating in
bullshit.
any capacity.
And then you're going to sports
Cheating
and now
in any
war. I'm
capacity.
talking about
cheating as like a concept, not necessarily
just
as
cheating.
just like specific to like video games.
I
Like
cheated in every year of school that I ever did.
Yeah.
I cheated until I realized I was smarter than everyone else in my
earning my
class. And I was like,
degree
you know, I'm not gonna
because
get
of
anything from
cheating.
this.
I'm not going to win against two fucking savages.
Social Darwinism, dude.
It's
like,
not.
you gotta
It's,
cheat
it's,
to.
I mean, fine. You can cheat all you want, but I think it's just stupid.
You shouldn't have to, but other people are gonna cheat and they're gonna screw you.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to get ahead without cheating. It's just it's the nature of the world.
yeah. Bill Gates cheated, stole all his shit from IBM.
Yeah. All right, so that's been
Okay,
Casually
cheating
Toxic
is good.
Podcast
The
episode
end.
15. That was our commentary on cheating.
Speaking of
I'm
cheating
so
and
surprised that like I'm surrounded
other
by fucking
illegal
animals.
things.
I mean, I've always thought this. I'm honestly surprised that Sirius shares my thoughts on
yeah,
this.
cheating's
but,
great.
But yeah,
That's like the honestly the genesis of that is that I cheated all the way throughout high school, like from first grade to
And not
12th
university?
grade. No, because in university, I would end up being like the people that people cheated off of. You know,
Oh,
which I don't
gotcha.
care. If
Yeah.
people cheat off me. Like I would help. Like
I guess
people were
most
like,
of
hey,
you
like,
had
I would
all-
just give them the fucking answer. I don't give a shit.
you had all in class stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot. I mean, when I cheated where I could in university, like online classes, like
Yeah.
Googling the questions, and then you have a Quizlet that's like
Yeah.
the whole quiz, and you just put them in
Yeah,
and get perfect
I
score.
intentionally like will take online classes
No,
because I
yeah.
know it's gonna give
Well,
me a
to me,
better
that's
grade.
like
And
not just that. That's like the dynamic of the class. Is it's like that's the challenge. It's not the challenge. Oh, do you know this? It's can you pass the test
Yeah.
by any means?
Yes.
You know, and it's like
Use
shit. No,
all
I didn't
re-
study, but I fucking passed the test.
What? That
Okay.
is almost that is not what a test isn't like. Hey, you just it's literally checking. if
Okay,
you know the
why
material.
why would you go to like a university? What's the point of going to college?
to learn the fucking shit that you're like trying to get a degree? Like
Okay,
That's
so
idealistic
I'm
version.
talking about in my culinary class that I would cheat on the quizzes because you have to know specifically what the four main flavor
yeah,
profiles
if you're
of
gonna
German
fucking
cuisine
like
are.
if you're gonna say like in this obscure example that doesn't really matter. If I'm a computer science major and I graduate with a computer science degree and I don't know shit and all I did was cheat the entire time and then I go to
you
a
still
job,
learn.
Cheating
it's
teaches
still,
you valuable skills.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting to the point. Is
It
that
does-
now, okay, if I get some kind of job, which of the two skills will be more helpful? That I know that the main flavor profile of German cuisine is sweet and sour, or that I know how to solve the answer to a question that I did not
correct.
study.
No,
for.
you're still going back to some fucking bullshit culinary example.
Okay. How
is that
What's
bullshit?
more important,
Ian.
okay? That I know Java or that I pretend to know Java?
No, that you can
Okay.
figure out a way
I have the
to act like you know Java.
I have the
That's
perfect-
vitally
That's
important.
not. That's so. Stupid.
I have the
You think
perfect
people don't lie on
scenario
their
for
fucking
this. Ian.
resumes
No,
to
of
get
course
jobs.
they lie on
yeah,
their
that's
resume.
the point. That's cheating. You lie on the resume, then you get to the job, and then you act like you know what you're doing
Yeah.
because you look up everything online.
Ian, I have the perfect scenario for this. You're working as a programmer, you're making $70K a year. They give you a project to work on, like you and another employee around your same level or whatever. You go online, look at code, which is considered cheating in a lot of scenarios.
No, it's not.
Well,
No,
it
it
is in
isn't.
CS and
No.
university. It is.
CS, no, it's specifically in CS and university, they tell you to Google and look up shit on
but
Stack Overflow.
not copy.
You don't copy,
code.
but
Yeah,
you look at their
not
code.
Copy. Well, everyone in CS and university,
You build on each
they
other's code.
copy the code and then they change parts of it to look like something else.
That's
so.
you're saying everybody, but like I know specifically people that like were actual good students that would like look at the code.
Yeah, none of those people made it past programming.
No,
too.
they absolutely did.
I highly. Anyway,
What do you
most
mean? I was literally in the class with them. You can't fucking give me that shit when I'm literally sitting next to that person.
There's a few of those people, but the vast majority of people in CS. Anyway, my point is you finish that project 2 days earlier because you copied some code, made it look like your own. Do you think that company is going to give the pat on the back to the guy that took 48 hours longer than you to get that project done?
I'm not saying that they're going to give you the pat on the back. I just think like, sure, if you wanna if you wanna cheat in a job, fucking somehow we got to college and work and bullshit and business, that's fine. But
Well, that's where all this cheating
no,
mentality
we
stems
were
from.
talking about
Yeah.
fucking.
It's the
video
strongest
games.
arguments.
We're
for
talking
cheating,
about
though.
video games at the beginning to be like this stupid dipshit thought he was like. You go around, you're like, I'm the best player at Donkey Kong, knowing full well that you play on rigged machines. It's bullshit. Like,
It worked for
Yeah, I mean,
30
it worked for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
and now it doesn't. Now the dude's fucking
Well, this dude
doing a
got
fall
caught, but
from
you
grace.
don't know that like the 2nd through 15th ranked people are also cheating, and they just didn't get caught. It's like Lance Armstrong got caught on doing steroids. Literally every other cyclist
Also,
was doing steroids, but none of those dudes got.
What's
benched.
even going to
I
happen
think
to
it's
this
different
guy?
in like sports compared to like this.
How is it different?
Because like in sports, it's like at the end of the day, you're a human being and you're limited by like human body things, right? And like if it's like you know, I listen to Bill Burr's podcast and he talks about cheating, right? And he talks about like, you know, if everybody's cheating, it's different, right? Because then it's our doped up guy beat your doped up guy, right?
Sure.
Which is fine. I still think that's bullshit, but it's not that case in video games where it's
seems like you think that cheating is like outside of the game.
I'm not saying,
You
what do
know?
you mean?
No, because you're like, oh, it's our doped up guy versus your doped up guy, versus saying like, okay, we were smart enough to get our guy doped up without being noticed, and you're not good enough to bypass the
part of the
mechanics
game.
of detecting cheating.
Yeah, like what? At the very, like if you're going to go like the Olympics kind of shit, or like, because, you know, if I have the opportunity to compete in like, I don't know, whatever, a bike race, right?
Yeah.
And I have the opportunity, to me, it's dumb to like dope up because then it's not actually really like, you know, you doing it.
Yeah,
It's
if you
just,
really, really care about like the,
what do you
the
mean? That's
spirit
whole,
of the game.
The
and
whole
everything.
point is getting better and improving and actually being good as yourself, not like some other drug, some other program, some script, some fucking bullshit. That's just like, that's lame.
Yeah, you can say it's lame.
You know
but-
what? You want to
I
hear
mean-
a cool example of it? I'm going to talk about Eve later in the podcast, but just a quick example right here. Giant war, thousands of players, lots of virtual money on the line. To win the war, they sent a guy over to this dude's house and cut his power so he couldn't log in. Is that lame or
awesome,
is that, yeah,
dude.
no,
That's
that's
sick.
fuck- That's so fucking insane. Yeah. I'm glad that
Yeah,
Sears and
that's good, dude.
shared
You guys
that.
are just fucking animals, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
so
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, because then it's like, you don't actually know who would have won. I mean, yes, that, you know,
The guy who
whoever-
cut the power.
yeah, they won, but it's like, you didn't really win. You just
Yeah, you did. You
No,
did
you
something that
didn't.
the other
You
team
just- you
wasn't
literally-
willing to do.
Yeah.
It's the same as saying like, oh well, in League of Legends, I'm just not gonna buy Rabadon
It's
because
like-
I think it's too good. It should be cheating.
That's fucking retarded. What are you
How is
talking
it
about?
not
It's
fucking
literally
retarded? You just
in the
make
game.
up the
You're
rules.
cutting a fucking power cable, comparing it to being actually playing the game. What the fuck are you talking about? If I'm
It
playing
affects
League,
the game.
if
It's
I'm
the way
playing
to
League
win.
of Legends
Look how
and
mad
you're
this is.
playing League of Legends, because
Yeah.
you guys are fucking ridiculous. If we're both playing League and there's an item in the game that's different, if you're running a script and I'm not, and you win, you're not winning.
But it says at the end of the game victory, and I get the
Yeah.
points, and you
If,
don't.
Yeah.
if like
For all
that's what
intents and
you're gonna-
purposes,
if
you
that's what
win.
you're gonna break it down to. But I mean, there's like, it's just like, I guess that's a personal thing. That's like,
Yeah, you're just talking about the feeling of personal achievement or whatever. You just want to win.
Yeah.
just win.
Win.
All right, I mean,
Play to win.
I
dude.
guess,
That's it,
I guess
win.
if you literally just play a game to just straight win and not actually enjoy the game.
I mean,
Winning is the enjoyment.
What do you mean? Okay, so you would cut
For some people, yeah.
You would
I mean,
cut
but yeah.
somebody's fucking power cable just so you won some virtual bullshit.
I probably.
I mean,
wouldn't
I
go
wouldn't do that
far.
shit, but I.
The
yeah.
fact someone
But you
did,
think that's
I'm like,
okay?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's
Okay.
well in the
we just
context.
fundamentally disagree. We're not,
in the
we're not-
context of Eve,
we're not
actually,
going to get
it's
to
kind
a
of
common
okay,
ground.
but
We
anyway.
just fundamentally disagree.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You're Naruto, he's Sasuke.
Cheating.
It's his ninja way, dude.
No, like
you
if
can't.
you guys are gonna fucking be pretentious, like if you guys are gonna be like,
You're the one being
No,
pretentious.
what
You're
do
the
you
one
mean?
like
You're
holding up the rules.
No, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you just don't understand the way of the world. It's like, go fuck yourself. Like you,
This
like,
is him just getting real.
yeah, I'm getting real pissed because it's like I cannot believe you guys are like, yeah, cheating's cool, dude.
This has been
Totally
Casually
fine.
Toxic, episode 15, part 2.
Watch this. I'm gonna cut out Ian's dialogue, and it sounds like I totally destroyed him.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
cheating
You
too.
don't even- you don't even edit.
We'll pull out
None
the
of,
parts.
I get the edit. What are you talking about? I could cut out all your parts.
But then no one would listen to the podcast.
Nobody listens to the podcast right now.
I listen, and I'll stop. I'll stop listening.
No, we're gonna lose that one person. That,
That's,
I don't
that's
want,
like
I don't want your-
400% of our
Listen,
listeners.
My
if
friend
you
Jandy might
fucking-
be tuning
if
in
you
for this one,
cheat-
so hey, Jandy.
If you cheat,
up?
it's shit. Don't listen to this fucking podcast. All right, you're
You can
fucking
just listen to
scumbag.
me. When Ian talks, push the mute or fast forward. Speaking of other dubious illegal activities, the Halo Online thing came out with a big update on 420. Hell yeah, bro.
Blaze it.
Yeah, the El Dorito mod, I guess it's called.
That's a bad name for a mod. I'm just gonna say that right
Well,
now.
it used to be called El Dorado, and then there was a play on Mountain Dew and Doritos, El Dorito.
Oh.
No part of this is good. This is so convoluted.
Yeah, whatever. The game came out, and it's super sick. Plays exactly like Halo 3 did. All the same weapons, all the maps. With the Forge mode, you can play all the zombie modes, and Infection, and Slayer, and Snipers, and SWAT, and all of it. And it's just as good as it was when I was in 9th grade.
All my memories of all those things you just said are great.
Yeah,
I have
they're
no
fantastic.
idea how I'd feel about them today.
The game runs super fine. Really, I don't know, just totally good.
Where'd you guys download the Halo Online client from?
Ooh, we did a mega link.
Yeah, just a mega link.
Okay.
You can get on the subreddit, the Halo Online subreddit.
Okay.
It's called the Halo Online.
I didn't know if you had to resort to torrents now that Microsoft
No,
has
you
stepped
can
in
get
there.
there. Like it was there. It was like Mega or a torrent link or whatever,
Oh, okay.
Google Drive or whatever. Yeah, many ways to get.
It's
this
all
game.
multiplayer stuff.
Only multiplayer, no single player, because it's based off of like Halo Online was a real game that was
In
supposed to
China,
come out
right?
in Russia.
Or Russia.
Yeah, but it only had like a beta, and then they shut it down for whatever reason. So these dudes took that engine and kind of merged it with, I think, the Halo 4 assets or something. So the thing that happened is the Microsoft sent them a DMCA takedown notice, cease and desist letter, and they were like, yeah, you can't do this shit because apparently Halo is like, or Microsoft is cool with people using like fan-made Halo stuff, but they can't use the original assets from the games, which they were using for this mod. Like, it's straight up just the original assets for like the Needler and the Elites and Master
So
Chief
they
and
just
whatever.
ported over all these assets from like Halo 3 to Halo Online.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically Halo 3 and 4, the assets from both those games to merge it in together to make this Halo 3 kind of game.
Yeah.
And that's what their Microsoft's line is, that why they had to shut it down. So they sent them the DMCA, and they said, like, the official line from the mods is that, like, we're not going to take it down or anything, but development is halted as of right now.
That kind of sounds like it leaves a little bit open as to like it could continue, maybe like.
Well, it's going to stay up because, like, as the game is out right
I
now
meant
in its
development
current form,
specifically,
yeah,
but-
like, they could get back to it. But the thing is that what they're saying and what it seems like is that, like, because Microsoft's big deal is the assets, and they're like, if you take the assets out, like, the game is, like, mostly that shit. Like, it'll be a lot of work to make it run without the assets.
So assets aside, was Halo Online essentially mechanically Halo 3 already, or did this mod
Yes.
like tweak it to be?
I think Halo
3?
Online came out sometime after Halo 3, so it was using the Halo 3 engine and the Halo 3, like, you know, mechanics of the game, you know?
All the balance and everything was just like 1-to-1 already. In
Yeah,
Halo
everything was
Online?
the same.
Oh, okay.
As it is, well, I don't know about in the mod how much they've changed because I didn't play.
Gotcha.
OG
I was
Halo
wondering.
Online.
I guess I was just wondering how much
Yeah.
work they actually put into this.
I mean,
mod.
it seems like an incredible amount of work because I played it on the. This is like called 0.6, and I think I played like 0.4 or something, and the game was like terrible. Like
Gotcha.
you could see that it was like the game was there, but like there's a lot of optimization issues and a lot of shit. Now it totally runs perfectly at whatever frames per second. I don't know if it runs at 30 or 60.
Yeah, that would be a big thing. That
Yeah.
FPS is a big deal to me. I wonder if they have 144 support. Or
I
is
don't.
it-
There,
is it
I didn't
like-
see anywhere in the options to change the
I didn't know if it's
frames.
locked or.
Yeah, I think the game is like locked 30 because it's a old game.
that's fair.
But
a
it,
little
like
bit
it
of a
doesn't
bummer,
bother
but-
me at all.
Sure.
Like I didn't notice it being lower frames because the textures are really good and it ran totally fine except one time I played on the huge map with like 64 players and that like slowed down at parts when like because everybody had rocket launchers, so there's just like explosions
Yeah.
all the time. So that like it like dropped a few frames, you know, when there was all these people and
Yeah.
explosions happening at the same time. Yeah, but the game runs really great, and you can download it and play it for free, and it's a fantastic time. There's a lot of people playing it all the time. Like I remember, like it was like Monday morning, and it had like 2,000 people online. So
That's pretty good for
Yeah.
like I was reading about it. I want to check it out.
yeah, I think Friday
like I
nights
said.
they had more than like 10K people on it. So
That's really good. I guess there's probably a thirst for Halo on the PC that
oh,
hasn't
there's
really
a
been.
huge one. That's the deal. Like getting back into like the legal shit about it is that they're like, okay, yeah, fine, it's your assets, which we can argue that is it really your assets because none of the dudes who made Halo 3 work at 343 or Microsoft anymore. And those are the guys who fucking made it.
It's all Bungie. Then,
Yeah, but these people have fucking, and these people, I mean myself too, have wanted Halo on the PC since Halo 1.
Yeah. Or
And
they did put Halo 1
Yeah,
on
they
the
did
PC,
put Halo 1. But like since then, like they were just like, no, this is how we sell Xboxes, so we're gonna only keep it on Xbox. And it's fucking stupid. You can just see how many people here are dying to like play the game in this convoluted way that you have to like download a mod and unzip a file, which for a lot of people, like it's a trivial thing, right, for us, but like to a lot of people, it's like so many fucking steps that are involved to play.
Especially
Halo.
for like,
You know,
the Halo fan base, which in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mind, I'm like, that's a little bit more of a casual audience. They might
Yeah.
not be super deep into like downloading files through torrents or
Yeah,
Mega,
yeah.
and then,
Like as soon as you click the download link and it gives you a notice, it's like, hey, this is an unprotected file. Most people will be like, oh fuck, and
Yeah.
they just close it out.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I don't. There's just like all these people fucking want it, and they just won't give it to them because they're like, hey, fuck you, buy an Xbox.
I mean, I feel like the actual move over the long run would be just for them to put Master Chief Collection out on PC.
That's what they're saying, but the Master Chief Collection is like an abortion of a video game.
I've heard it's. I knew it was originally. I've heard it's been getting better over
horrendous.
time. But
I mean, if it's getting better, but it's not worth playing still. And they fucked that game so hard that the player base, I think, is like not gonna come back without like a major update. And they put out like
PC update.
Yeah, like advertisements that's like, hey guys, it's not the shit that it was before. Because it was like, you couldn't even get into a fucking game on the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Like, you would just get like disconnected all the fucking time, and like the only shit that worked was like regular Team Slayer. Like, you know, if you wanted to play, like eventually they released all those playlists because they're like, hey, people want to play snipers, let's let you play snipers. And then they just fractured the already tiny community so that it's like you can play snipers with the same 25 people, or you can play the big team battle with the same 30 people. Like, you know, it's
feel like
really bad.
That is like a terrible situation, but I almost want to give them some degree of slack because that was like a crazy ambitious idea. It's never been done before. Having 4
It was
games,
so stupid of them. It was
but
so,
still,
no, because then they outsourced it to another company. That's why it was so shitty.
Yeah.
They outsourced that. At least the multiplayer got outsourced to some other shitty company, and then apparently, I don't know, they just didn't keep tabs on them.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey, you're gonna have it done by June whatever, and they gave them the game, and they didn't check it, and they just sent out this fucking piece of shit.
I mean, no game.
I'm
has
really
ever
mad
just, like,
about it, dude.
combined
I bought a
full-
fucking Xbox One when the Master Chief Collection came out because I wanted to play it so bad,
Yeah.
and it was just like, okay, the story modes are great. It's like all HD and fantastic to play through the single player story, which is like so good. Back to a time when like a shooter could have an amazing single player story and multiplayer in the same game for $60. That was amazing, and I did play through all 3 campaigns again on Legendary, and it was like just as good as it always was. But yeah, I don't know. Like, you play Halo to play the multiplayer, and they fucked that up so hard. So yeah, I don't know. I was just like, these dudes are coming in here doing it for free out of the love of the game to put it out there for people to play online, and you guys are like, no, you can't do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's a similar thing with WoW private servers. People are just trying to play old WoW, and like,
Yeah.
it's anything with private servers. It's very like shaky territory.
Well, the thing is that it's like, okay, yeah, they're using your assets and your IP, but like, it's totally free. They're not making any money off of this shit, and they haven't posted any plans to monetize it. They're just like, we love Halo, and you love Halo, let's play Halo together.
a lot of, or at least I can only like reference WoW private servers in this regard in terms of like kind of seeing the entire evolution of this process of like, a group of people using assets and stuff like that. And a lot of times, like, it's not for money and not for profit, but then it starts getting a little bit more corrupt over time. Or
Yeah,
one guy
naturally that always happens.
And because it's not such like a tight business or whatever,
Yeah.
there's one asshole can ruin it for everyone, which keeps happening with WoW private servers, and it could happen with this.
Yeah,
but it's
no,
unlikely.
it's the natural way for it to
yeah.
go, to just see, like, hey, here's all these people, they want this service, we're giving
Yeah.
it to a free, let's just charge them $1.
Yeah.
Let's charge them now $2, maybe $5.
And the case with WoW is like they were generating gold themselves and then selling that gold to like make money. But yeah, you just never know. One asshole, and with anything like this, one asshole.
No,
can
yeah,
ruin
it could
all.
go down, but at this point, like, in the state that the game is in, like, they don't need to update it anymore.
That's what I was reading. I was reading Reddit on it, and people are like, if 0.6 is like the last version, that's fine.
Yeah,
you know?
if this is it, that's good. It's good enough as it is. So I don't know. Maybe I just made a big hullabaloo about nothing, but I don't know. I just like Halo, and I wish that I could play it online with all my friends, like I was in high school still. So you said you've been playing Eve online.
Yeah,
The
so
fabled MMO. And when they write articles about this shit.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like 10 billion player war took 7 years to go
you
through.
lost $300,000.
Yeah, this guy spent his whole salary on this shit.
Yeah.
The guy lost his
Actually,
home.
yeah, everything you just said has been an article. Basically,
yeah.
at some point. I assume you guys have all read just run across these over the
occasional
years.
one, yeah.
So I've played it.
Does it really like that? It really be like that?
So I'll tell you the other side of it. After like a long time of trying Eve, off and on, over the past 2 weeks, I finally got kind of past the wall. This last week, I've been in an 1,100 player battle. I've gone on small fleets. I've tried multiple sources of like income activities or PvE activities. When they talk about, I'll talk about interesting thing, I guess. When they talk about like these huge battles, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of the time dilation thing?
I mean, I've heard of such a concept.
Sure.
Not specifically in Eve, but...
So what happens, because no game can actually handle, 1,000 to 2,000 plus player battles, is they add a time dilation effect, which is interesting in that it slows down the entire game for everyone. So everything's happening in slow motion. So in this 1100, and the purpose of this, without getting too deep in the tech of it or whatever, is the processors on their servers can't keep up with all these calculations. You have velocity. Someone turns on like a module or like an attack or whatever. It can't keep up. And this is like a problem that all like games with these size battles struggle with. So the point of slowing it down is now the processor is only dealing with if you have a time dilation factor of 0.15, right? You're running at 15% normal speed. The processor is now doing that much less at any given time. So anyway, I was in a 1,100 player battle that literally took 4 hours because it took like 10 minutes to shoot one attack. So these battles are not that great.
Yeah.
And that's just the other side of it that's not mentioned in articles, is like these battles are playable in like the loosest sense of the term.
So this is a game that you have on your second monitor.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's actually what's kind of nice about it is when I'm making money or ISK, it's on a second monitor. And it's just running in the background, playing Rocket League, whatever. I'm looking over, making sure no one's like... This is kind of a space sim MMO, if you people don't know. Making sure no one like flies up on me and pops me. That's what I'm paying attention to on second monitor while I play Rocket League. The other part of it, which is the actual hook of Eve, which I've wondered forever, is it is forced socialization, forced grouping, and essentially like forced PvP. The entire game revolves around PvP, and it revolves around the economy around the PvP. Someone gets shot and killed, all of a sudden you just cost your corporation / guild like, millions of ISK. That's not good. You do that against someone else, there's a real tangible loss there when people die. The PvP is interesting in that it's not like MMO PvP as most people are used to. It plays more like a strategy game. You have 70 people in a fleet. You have a fleet commander. He's issuing out like orders. You fly in different formations. You have primary targets, secondary targets. It feels like a single player-esque kind of space like RTS game, which is really unique for like an MMO. Beyond that, it's really, again, the main hook of all this is the kind of old school force socialization, force grouping. Every night I get on, there's something new that I see. Last night got pretty heavy in the sense that I got on, and I haven't seen this in MMO forever, but they were all flying out to light a beacon for a player that committed suicide in 2014. Like, it's this type
I read an article about that too. That it was like they had a funeral procession for it.
Yeah. And last night our corporation was flying out with a fleet to light a beacon for this player. The community is super tight knit. Like everyone, I hop on that Discord or it's Mumble technically, and compared to like other MMOs, other games I've been playing recently, where everyone's just like toxic or yelling or fucking nerds basically. Everyone is just like drunk. They're just like hanging out on Mumble, and everyone's super.
Are there
calm.
a lot of new players?
Not as many new players as there would be in other games, I guess.
Because I feel like that's how you get such a tight-knit community. Is like that game has such a high barrier to entry. I feel like it forces away the casuals or whatever word you want to use, or people who are like they just want to troll. They're not that serious. They don't care about throwing away all
Yeah.
the time that they put into the game, to fuck someone else over.
That's a big part of it, is that, like...
And I feel like the average age of the player base is probably a little older. Too.
Average age of the player base is definitely, like, I would say there's plenty of people 30 plus. There's a lot. There's some 50-year-old guys I play with
who've
families.
been playing for years.
Yeah, so that's the thing with EVE, is it's low new players, but really high retention rate on the
Yeah.
people that make it past the wall.
Yeah.
It's a single server. There's generally 30,000 people on at any given time. It's all one shared universe. Something's happening over on the other side of the universe. You're going to hear about it. It might affect you. Your corporation might be like, all right, we need to go help this corporation because we're allied with them. Super deep game. Probably the most complex game there is. If you want to learn... The other point I was going to make about EVE is a lot of MMOs, right? Like, say, WoW, it's 15 years of vertical development, right? Every new expansion kind of wipes out everything that came before. It's stuff you can kind of revisit, but meh. Like, you just do it for transmog or whatever to change the appearance of your character. With EVE, it's been 15 years of horizontal development, so there's just 15 years of activities you can choose from that are all equally viable. So every time you get on, who knows what the fuck you're going to be doing that night. And it's really fun to, like... You just have no control of it. You hop on, your 30-player corporation, whatever, is like, all right, this is what we're doing tonight. This is what we need to do.
Yeah, but isn't it like if you're a new player, there's skill books, right? And these skill books take time.
Yes.
So it's like, isn't it you're just always going to be behind somebody else?
So this is one of the most popular criticisms of EVE, and it's false in the sense that at any time during any activity you're going to be doing, say PvP, you're going to be using 10% of your trained skills. So like, someone's trained a bunch of skills to fly a frigate really well. In 2 months, they can go up against a player that has been playing for 15 years, and you could be using that same portion of your skills and be completely competitive with them.
Yeah, but I feel like you're taking away from the fact that, like, obviously the 15-year player is going to have, like, a better potential because he's going to, like, have, like, probably, like, a better economy or whatever, right?
Yeah, so in terms of knowledge and, like, ISK or currency, stuff like that player is going to have an advantage, but in terms of, like, when you're flying that ship, you're only using a percentage of the skills you're trained. Your 10 million skill points in industrial ships is not going to do anything for your frigate, right? So, like, you're only... it's not crossing as much as you think. Like, a 15-player won't dominate you completely.
I mean, I can understand that. I guess I just don't like the aspect... Like, I played EVE, right, for a bit. Not as long as you have. I'd played for, like, maybe a week. Yeah. And it was always kind of just leaving a sour taste in my mouth. It felt like a mobile game.
When did you get into EVE?
It was years ago. It just felt like a mobile game where you train up a skill, and granted, you don't have to, like, be constantly on or be doing anything else other than just right-click the skill book and have it set to go, right? But it's like it's like just an actual time sink. Like, it's just literally...
Yeah, so...
I feel like there should be a button there that just says rush if you put real money into it, is how it looks like to me.
But there isn't, right? Like, there is no button that's just like rush. And EVE requires a different mentality, and I'm honestly surprised I was able to adjust to this mentality since I have such, like, a, progression, like, kind of type mindset with EVE. When I get on at night and, like, I join a fleet and I'm going to PvP for 2 or 3 hours, I'm not gaining any progression. Beyond just, like, learning the game, at that point, you're just playing for fun, which is a concept that should not agree with me. But it's something that I've been enjoying about EVE is, like, I'm going to get on, I'm going to PvP for 4 hours. I get no progression. I'm just doing it to fucking shoot ships and, like, have fun. Which is really interesting. So, I mean, that's part of it that's really enjoyable. The only time that I'm really doing progression is when I'm, like, AFK ratting, which is just, like, shooting ships for money, NPC ships. And then it's on second monitor, I'm not paying attention to it. That's where the progression comes from, and my skills are just training in the background. Other than that, I'm playing the game for fun, which is fucking crazy for an MMO. Yeah. Especially now, like, it's just not, it's not that carrot on a stick, like, treadmill type MMO. So.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Jeremy's going to come back anytime soon, but I thought we could talk about Dying Light a little bit since he's been playing it lately.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was talking to Matt about it before y'all got here, about how I did not enjoy the game as much as I thought I would. Maybe Scotty can chime in because I know that he's enjoying it, or he's been playing it more than I have. But my whole deal with it that I was telling Matt is that so when you start the game, the zombies are like a joke. Feels like
You think they're a joke when you start the game?
in the daytime. Like they're not an issue at all.
Okay. But are you playing solo or playing with us?
Both times.
Okay.
So like one of these is like a very specific criticism that is just from playing with you guys, which is that like it was like early game for me, and you guys are like 20 levels ahead. It's just kind of like I'm not playing the game, I'm just following you, and you guys are just giving me the shit,
100%.
right? Which is not fun. But also, I didn't find the combat like super fun, and I really didn't like how the durability, at least in the beginning, I know you guys said it gets better, but like the durability was like really annoying. That like it feels bad that like you either you have a shitty weapon that breaks all the time, or you have an expensive weapon that breaks all the time, and you feel bad that you spent this money on to make a weapon better that it's just gonna break immediately. And like I didn't really be like, oh hell yeah, I built this fucking crazy hammer or something, you know, like it doesn't give me a lot of enjoyment that it was like, oh, I got this weapon now, I can chop zombies in half twice as fast as I was before or something, you know. So it's just like, I don't know, the game, like it's not like a bad game, it's just kind of like to me.
So I think
And I think like for the enjoyment of just like killing hordes of zombies, I'd rather play Killing Floor.
I think you lost a lot of like possible enjoyment because you play with us. And
When I was playing with you guys, I thought maybe I should just quit and play single player, but I just didn't want to play single player.
For example, when I started, so Jeremy and I started a new game, and zombies at the beginning I thought were difficult. Not like, you know, not one of them was difficult, right?
Yeah,
but like
2 or 3 is a problem.
you start getting groups of them. And then also with the weapon thing, I can understand the durability being like a problem, but at that, like, when you're starting out, you get so many weapons. I mean, you get so many weapons all the way through, and then you can also every weapon gets like 3 repairs on it or whatever. And then you can mod them to increase the durability.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
what I was doing. But like, I guess to me, it was just like, for how long it takes to kill a zombie, it felt like the game was telling you, like, don't kill the zombies because it takes too long and you're just going to destroy your weapon, so don't bother.
So this I could be totally wrong, right? But isn't in Breath of the Wild that's kind of like the same like premise where like weapons break all the time, you're just supposed to like get another weapon real quick?
Yeah, but you don't have to put any resources into getting weapons. The weapons just kind of rain down.
Well, you don't have to put any resources into getting weapons if you don't want to. If you find one, you can put resources into it.
Yeah, I guess so. But like,
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I don't think it's like...
I mean, no, I'm trying to think about it because like it is really similar to the Breath of the Wild system with the durability, and I'm trying to think of why it didn't bother me as much in Breath of the Wild. I guess I'd say because the combat is more fun.
Yeah, so if you're going to compare it to like Killing Floor, I think Killing Floor is like, what's that game got? Literally combat. Like, the whole point is it feels super cool.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't super in love too with the RPG, like the skill tree, you know, elements of the game. Like I was just like not excited to be like, now I can, you know, do a cartwheel.
Does this game have like an end game? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a story.
There's a story, right?
Yeah, it's like a co-op zombie story.
What happens when you beat that? Is there like a grind aspect? I don't understand what Dying Light is beyond like the basic like main campaign.
It's an RPG.
I played like an hour of it.
Right, it's an RPG. I mean, you can grind it, right? Like I haven't beat the game. I'm assuming once you do beat the game, you can.
How long is the game?
I have no idea. It's like I said, I haven't beaten it. So like once you do get to that point, though, I'm assuming it just kind of lets you free roam.
Oh, okay. How many hours have you?
So you never beat the game?
I've seen Jeremy has like 120 hours in it.
In Dying Light?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot of time. I don't have that many hours.
I was like, is this kind of like a action RPG style where like you beat the main campaign and then like it opens up and you like grind for loot, or like what?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's never gonna be like you can grind for loot. You can't be like, oh, this is a really good weapon. I'm really glad I got that. But there's no real point because like it's not like a super big challenge to kill some of the zombies, right? They're kind of just What my complaint, which is similar to Steers's, where he was saying the zombies are too easy. I think the zombies are too easy now, but that's because I'm level like 12 or some shit, and like my weapons just kind of swing through them. I think they scale up with your level, and I think it's probably because I'm playing with Scotty, who's still an early level, and so the zombies are like at his level, and I just like maul through them.
Is the co-op story stuff the same as the main campaign?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can co-op the entire
Yep.
game.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know.
Is it LAN or is it internet?
It's online.
Is there a LAN option?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Another thing I want to say though about the game that gets really high praise is the parkour. And I think that the parkour is not as good as people make it out to be because so like the one thing that I do like about it, right, is the speed up thing that you get every time you like successfully make a move, so that you keep your momentum and you can move really quickly. But also it feels kind of like the parkour or whatever you want to call it in Assassin's Creed, the older ones. I haven't played a recent Assassin's Creed, but like where it's kind of like you're just pushing up and A when it's time to jump. And like in Dying Light, I feel like it's just like you're just running and then you just mash spacebar when it's time to jump and climb up on shit. You know, and like you just kind of.
Is there another way of doing it? Has another game done a parkour system that's not?
No, because what I was gonna say is that in Shadow of Mordor, you get that upgrade later on. That like every time you do a vault, you get a speed boost that usually lasts until the next place you can vault. So then you're running super fast all the way through, and that feels really good. And I enjoyed that a lot in Dying Light. But like I don't know, the movement was not a big aspect of Shadow of Mordor, and I thought it was better in that.
Well, I think, I mean, Dying Light has there's challenges, right? Where you can, like,
I did a challenge.
So
I did one.
Did you an agility one?
Yeah.
Okay, so like some of the agility ones are actually difficult, and it isn't just like pressing spacebar to like leap up.
Well, to me too, the frustration of failing that agility one over and over was just learning the route too. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I'm not good enough. It's like I don't know where the finish line is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So once I did it long enough, like because it was like maybe 2 minute or 2.5 minute timer. So like I would just get as far as I could, but like I would get to points where it's like, do I go left here? Do I go right here? So I would just get to it until I know like, okay, then you go left, then you go right, then you go under the thing, you go over the thing. You
I
know.
think that's the problem in any race, though, right? Like, I mean, unless it gives you like a giant
arrow. I couldn't give you an example that does it better. That's like the ideal way to do movement in a game,
right?
But
I can't. So in terms of like just not knowing where the finish line is, this is like totally a different genre. But like Trackmania, basically, the whole
idea what that is.
It's basically like a time trial like racing game. You race online with people. Anyway, you have a course and you go into it blind and you don't know like where all the turns are. Anyway, every map has a replay function where you can watch a video of the entire route before you do it, so you know the route.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that's ideal for Dying Light, but that's just an example of that kind of course thing where you can see like what's ahead of you.
I mean, that's like I guess like I would probably enjoy it a lot if I was like super good at parkour and I could get it like first or second try. That would probably give me a lot of enjoyment out of the game. But
so for me,
I don't know.
like you were talking about how in Shadow of Mordor you level up and you get that ability where you vault over something and you move faster. So it's kind of similar, but not really. You get a grappling hook.
Yeah, the grappling hook, I heard it makes the movement a lot more fun, but that seems like a pretty far off way from starting.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy the game from the beginning, then you know there's no point.
Yeah,
but it is really fun. I messed with it a little bit. It's really fun to like be able to just chain together moves now that I couldn't before. Like, you know, I could leap over a wall and then leap over a bin, and then I couldn't get up a building. I'd have to climb up it. But now I can keep my momentum.
I think that's good game design in any game when they can when they show you. That's like a Metroidvania type. Game mechanic where they like show you a thing and it's like, hey, there's a huge treasure up here, but you got to come back later when you have a power up that will allow you to.
Yeah, that's very
and
popular
also
in like Metroidvania games.
Yeah. With the parkour aspect in Dying Light, there is like some skill to. You know, is this like some walls are too high and it slows you down, and like if you drop too far, it'll
so what I guess what I would say is it's not mechanically intensive.
Right,
but it's like you do have to like look around and be like, okay, that's like a wood top, and if I jump on that roof, it's going to collapse or whatever.
Yeah,
I have to like run around the edges, or you know, like I can't make that jump, I have to go another way.
And I would say mechanically, it gets more. I mean, it's not incredibly intense, but it gets more intense with the grappling hook because then it's like you have to press a separate button and aim at something.
Yeah.
And like keep your momentum going.
I guess I just wanted to say that like people put a lot of praise on the parkour, and I thought it was good. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think if
Not
you,
like amazing.
if
but
you
yeah.
judge the game solely on like the zombie killing or solely on the parkour, then it's probably not that great. But if you combine like, to
Yeah.
me, it's really
The
fun.
whole is greater than its parts.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
when I say we, I mean Jeremy and Scotty and I recently started like going out at night, which is when the really fucking hard shit comes out, and like that's really fun. And that's when like actually being good at parkour really matters, because it's like those guys are on your ass, and it's like if you fuck up and you slow down, you hit a wall that's like too high and you have to like climb up slowly, you're like fucked. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least at the beginning levels. Like I said, it's probably a little bit easier now with a grappling hook. But I mean, like, there's definitely some aspect of the parkour that you have to put some amount of skill into.
One last question from me on this game. Did you enjoy this game like right off the bat, or did it take you a certain amount of time to start like enjoying it? Is there like a time threshold you would recommend if you did not enjoy this game?
No. So, okay. So the only problem I had with the game at the beginning was what he's talking about with the durability,
Okay.
right? There's some shit you get that like, weapons degrade slower.
Yeah, that's like an early power perk
Yeah.
you can get. It's like degrade
So
half or whatever.
you get that, and like if you just, because I was going into it being like, well, I want to use my favorite sword, right? And I want to use it to kill all these zombies, but you can't think about it like that. You got to be like, all right, as soon as this shit's done, I'm tossing this sword away, and I'm picking up this cricket bat, and now that's done, I'm tossing that away, and I'm picking up this baseball bat. You know, it's like, it's kind. You carry 4 weapons at a time, so it's not like you should ever be starving for a weapon. But it's just, that's the only gripe I had with the game. And like I said, now that I've played it a little bit more.
Another thing, I did not like the way that the menus work with equipping and unequipping weapons.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was super slow
is-
and clunky
okay.
and not good.
That's definitely bad.
Yeah.
It's definitely designed for a console.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Playing on a controller would probably make that a lot better.
The reason I asked is because I've downloaded and played this game like 4 separate times, and I've always played for an hour and then quit.
And you
Because
don't
like
like it?
on paper, I should like it. I like zombie games. I like
So
co-op games.
what do you just like? You just can't put your finger on it?
Yeah, I can't necessarily put my finger on it. I just wasn't having fun. I think part of it also just might be I'm not big on like open world questing single player games.
Yeah. So it's not single player, right? You can do co-op.
Sure,
I've-
and I wasn't doing co-op.
That's
so.
the thing. I've never played it single player.
Yeah.
Like there's a first hour or so that you have to go through the tutorial.
Yeah, I've done that like 4 times.
Yeah. So after that, like I almost exclusively play with other people, which
Yeah,
is really fun.
I always play a single player, and I was just like, I'm just so tired
I guess
of
that's
open
the
world
thing that
questing
puts me off
games.
to it too. I think more than you guys, I really like value the narrative of a game,
Oh yeah.
and the story, and so like. I can't remember what other game it was, but I remember you guys talking about like a game that has a story, but it's also single player, but it's like, or it has a story, but it's also multiplayer, but the story's like the central point of the game, and it's like if I like just click through the intro just to get it over with, like to me, like I feel like I need like a motivation to play the game, like based in the story, you know, like why am I going to kill this dude? Why
Yeah.
do I give a shit about my character's quest? Why am I having to like save this person or whatever? You know, so like playing through Dying Light, it was like I don't know, there's kind of like an interesting story, but like that was like starting to unfold that like obviously you're like some undercover agent that you're gonna like double cross, but
Yeah.
like the people giving you orders are obviously not good people either or something.
Mhm.
But like I don't know, like in a game like that, I don't know, I guess maybe on your first playthrough you should probably play through with someone else playing on that
Yeah.
first playthrough.
So you can't enjoy a game just to enjoy the gameplay. Like if it's like, I mean, obviously you play
If
League
it's
and
a
not
story game, you know, that's why I feel like I play, like I have like like all through my life playing video games. I'll have like a competitive game that I put a lot of time into playing, like Halo, Call of Duty, League of Legends, whatever, and then I'll just play through story mode games. And the way that I play through story mode games is that like I'll just binge them. I'll like destroy it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Non-stop, 30 hours done with the game. Put
Okay.
it away. You know, and then I don't really go back to games like that a lot either. Like I just play through the story once I know what happens, unless it's like a Dark Souls where the combat's like amazing and you just
Yeah.
want to play the combat. But like once I kind of know what happens, unless it's been so long that I forget, you know, like I don't play a lot of single player games through again.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But so
I
like,
don't either.
I mean, in Dying Light's case, I feel like
No matter how much I like it. Like I haven't played through Hollow Knight again, and that's like one of my favorite games I've played in the last like 5 years.
I only played Nier Automata once, even though it's like one of my favorite games ever. It
was
was
on-
fun to watch my girlfriend play it.
It was
again,
on
but-
sale for $30. I almost picked it up.
It's been on sale for $30 like a few times recently.
Has it? I thought
yeah.
that was the lowest it's gone.
It was $30. It went up back to $60 for like a week, and then it dropped to $30 again.
I'm hoping in like the summer sale, it's like, hey, this is actually $7.
Oh, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go way down. I
but
have no doubt.
I wouldn't
With-
push it to go past like 20. Though.
With Dying Light, I mean,
Yeah.
like
20 is like hopeful.
20 is hopeful. Yeah.
you can't have like, you can't play a single player game with like just an okay story.
No, not because I played games with like bad stories that like I just pushed through it. But I think it was like because I played with you guys, like I felt the urge to just like get to your level and skip past what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like I would just go around with you guys and like I would just like walk through the map and randomly just start unlocking safe houses, you know, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't like that maybe because also it's like playing through the story mode is like learning the map too.
Yeah.
You know, and like you guys already had a handle on where everything is and where to go to do this and that.
That makes sense.
It sounds like unless I play this with my girlfriend, there's absolutely zero way I could get into it
Yeah,
because
you-
I'm not deep into like scheduling time to play with other people, and it sounds like that would probably be pretty necessary.
Yeah, I would definitely play with somebody else. I know you've played it already, or you played the second one. But Scotty and I, he's not mic'd up. I've been playing Divinity, and like just the fact that like you can do co-op in that, and that there is kind of like
That's
what
the
you're
other
talking
thing with
about with the
Divinity
story.
that it, like okay, so me and Scotty went down to Zach's in Florida and we hung out playing Divinity, and like that game I felt like resistance to enjoying it because we were playing with 4 people.
Yeah.
And so like there's all these narratives happening at the same time. And I started to enjoy it more once I was like, you know what, fuck these other guys. I'm just going to do my quests, my main story. Because I was playing as one of the default characters who has
Yeah.
their own like
Yeah, yeah.
voice actor and
Their own
story and
backstory
everything.
and
I
all
don't know
that.
why you would
Yeah.
ever make your
No,
own
yeah, I
that
feel like the game is way better if you
Yeah.
play through one of those
Yeah.
characters. Having played for 4 hours. So
Well, I played for like
Yeah.
40, and I can.
Yeah.
So I would say Divinity 1, excuse me, has like a worse story and is a worse game. But the fact that there's only 2 players, it's way easier to just do the same shit. You know, there's not going to be like if I'm at a vendor and he's waiting, you
Yeah.
know, there's not 2 other people that are also waiting. And
Yeah.
like everybody gets bored, you know, like it's kind of just like us 2. And so it makes it super easy that we both see the same quest shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, like,
Yeah, because that's the thing. It would be like playing with them with well, because like it's obviously it's like a different scenario because he knew that like we're only there for like 3 days and he just wanted to show us the game. So it was like, oh yeah, well you can just do like this, and this because like I don't know Zach's big into optimizing too, playing the game. So
Yeah.
like yeah, so you're just like oh well like you know you're never gonna get enough gold to get these skills, so you just gotta level like put these points into sneaking or whatever and just steal the skill books.
Yeah.
And get the skill super early so that you can kill the dudes easier and get the
Yeah.
shit, you know, which is like a fine way to play on your second playthrough or third playthrough, which is what he was doing, you know. And I did enjoy like the combat is a lot of fun,
Yeah.
especially because I had all those skills like that made me not like OP, but like it unlocked my kit. Early,
Yeah.
you know, because like you don't even have your full kit when you start the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, you're an assassin character, but you don't have like backstab yet, so you can't even fucking like get crits.
I ran into the problem with the game's combat that I do with all games, kind of in that vein, is that once you find a winning like combination of abilities and everything, you just do that for the rest of the game
Yeah.
and face roll through it. I forgot what my winning combination was, but I had something that was just like every fight was just like looping the same like set of actions.
So-
it was like
I don't know if I mean, I guess it has to change it too, but or we're dumb, Scotty. But like, we haven't found some winning combination.
how far in the game are you? Are you to the open area yet?
We're in the first one.
Okay.
First
yeah.
game.
So I made it into the second act, I guess is whatever. Like a good ways into that, and that's when I started hitting like this winning combination. I started getting bored because I just kept.
Are you talking about Divinity 1 or Divinity 2?
2?
Yeah, I'm talking about Divinity 1.
Oh no, I didn't make it that far into Divinity 1. I don't know if there's. I assume there's still winning combinations in it, but
I mean, there's just like literally like, so. I mean, I guess in our case, like they'll put it in like an enchant on themselves that just makes them resistance to like an entire element.
How many enemies do you fight in combat? Because when we were playing with 4, we would fight against like you know.
Are you talking about Divinity 1 or 2?
He's talking about 2. I'm talking about 1.
Okay.
But
I
like
get that it's
when
a
you
little-
only have 2 players, right? You don't fight as many enemies at once.
I mean, you still have 4 people in total.
Oh, so you have like NPCs
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
party?
That works with Divinity 2 as well. You can have 2 players playing, and
Right.
then have
They control
2
the other
NPCs,
people, yeah.
or they have control over everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, couldn't you? Did you play on like the hardest difficulty?
No.
So we're not playing on the hardest. I think we're one below the hardest. We're somewhere normal.
Yeah.
So
Normal.
we're not even doing hard mode. But like,
Yeah.
There-
But for a game like that, I don't want
It's
to do hard mode.
still
Yeah.
why? But that's the whole point. Like, the combat to me is super fun because, like, you know, for every time dipshit over here is like charging into a group of us and stuns everybody or some shit like on our team. Dipshit being Scotty.
And maybe with Divinity 1, because the story isn't like that praised and it is the combat in Divinity 1, that makes sense. But for Divinity 2, it was more kind of the story and the character interactions and the atmosphere that the combat didn't take the forefront for me, which is why for Divinity 2, I don't necessarily want to play it on a harder difficulty.
Well, I feel like
But
with the way that the combat works in Divinity 2, at least, like, I mean, they do tweak the numbers when you play on a harder one, but I do like how the AI just becomes smarter. It's not just like, okay, well, now he has double hit points
Sure.
and gets crits twice as often.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, actually, he's just smarter. Like, he won't just stand in the fire and let you get,
Yeah.
you know, points on
yeah, that
shit.
archer's gonna hit you
Yeah.
with a poison arrow, then a fire.
Yeah, it's like he knows, like, to not fucking do that shit. Like, you know, he'll move to the high ground. He won't just, like, stand in this shitty position and get hit by you all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're playing on normal, but Divinity 1's hard as fuck.
I mean, we had
Sure.
trouble with Divinity 2. We died a lot.
Yeah,
I died a lot up until the point where I feel like I figured it out,
You
and
just
then I
figured it
just
out.
yeah I just figured out a combination of things that my characters could do. They leveled up, accessed enough stuff where I was just like,
Maybe-
I bought gear from a vendor that was like fucking amazing. I found a way to get gold really quick. I just min-maxed it because I don't like fun. So
Glad you're embracing it.
yeah, no, I mean I'm aware of what my tastes
I
are.
mean, you
so.
got EU, right? So there's your fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well that's because there's not a lot to min-max.
Right. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it'll change later on. I think we're near, like, the end of, like, the first act or whatever. But going back to my original point, saying that that's kind of like what you were talking about, Sirius, with, like, a story and co-op, but it's not, like, that great of a story, at
Yeah.
least in my eyes. Like, so far, Divinity 1's good, but I know it's not, like, praised as a great story. It's just an okay story.
That's the thing with a lot of games that are coming out, like the CRPG genre, including Pillars of Eternity. Every time I read about them, they're like, these games are great, but the story's not so great. I'm just like...
Really? For Pillars, you heard that?
Yeah, for Pillars of Eternity, I heard it's all pretty, like, standard fantasy stuff, no crazy twists or anything. It's just kind of like...
I mean, to me at least, it's the fact that, like, I don't know, there's like a world, right? And you're just in it, and you can kind of do whatever. The amount of times I go, all right, Scotty, talk to this guy, turn him around. I'm going to sneak behind him and break into his, like, room, and I'm going to steal his shit, right? It's just like a cool statement.
Yeah, we would do that shit. It would be like, okay, Zach, you have to talk to this dude and make him turn around so we
Yeah.
can go into, like, his shop and take his shit, and then, like, then you have to disappear, run away because the cops are looking for you.
It's just, I don't know, it's cool. And,
Yeah.
like, it's not so much the main story as it is, like, side quests and what they have you do and, like,
Yeah.
interactions. And, like, that aha moment where you're, like, you figure out a puzzle or you do some combination that you didn't think was going to work. Like, the amount of times where you go, I wonder if this works, and then it works perfectly.
And all that stuff is cool. It's just I guess all that stuff doesn't automatically like give me a pass on the main story stuff. Like I still wish the main story stuff was better ultimately.
See, it's interesting to me because, like, I'm with you guys 100% on main story. Like, I love a good story in games, and I can play a worse game
Yeah,
if it has a great
but for
story.
you, all those other parts kind of.
But I can also
yeah.
just enjoy the game. Like, I can play Doom,
Yeah.
you know? I
Yeah,
can just
no,
shoot shit.
and yeah, but Doom is so like impressive gameplay wise. That's a
Yeah.
hard one.
Yeah,
for
but
me.
Yeah, Doom is like ideal.
But
perfect
Divinity
game.
2, I
yeah.
feel like, is, like, not, you know...
Combat, I mean, not just game.
I think Divinity 2 is basically there. Like, the fact that you can... There's so many
There's
different
so many
combinations with
there-
elements, and, like...
It's just I can't
Yeah,
compare.
I mean, like the
those
little bit
two.
that I played in Divinity 2, like I think it's like it deserves all the
It-
praise that it gets.
I mean,
from the combat.
It was just crazy. So
Yeah, in my mind, I cannot compare Doom and Divinity 2 in
It so-
terms of gameplay.
It sounds
Yeah.
stupid.
Not
right?
that one's better or worse. I just can't
Yeah, they're
compare.
totally different.
Yeah, I
But
just
yeah.
can't compare.
I
I don't know.
them,
It does have like the same kind of flow. So if you think about Doom as like So they have this philosophy, right, that you're supposed to just go in, right? You're the Doom
Yeah.
guy, you're the unkillable demon, you just go in. So they reward you for getting in people's face. They reward you for melee kills, they reward you for, like, you know, going in like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like they do that same kind of thing. Like, they reward, in Divinity 2, they reward you for, you know, trying new things, for, like, going, like, you know, for having an idea of being creative in combat and in, like, any situation.
I mean, like, I don't know, I enjoy tactical games. Like, I'm not like I like StarCraft 2, but it's not, like, my main game, you know? Like, what I'm trying to say is I'm not, like, only playing strategy games, right?
Sure.
But I do enjoy them. The fact that, like, I shot it, there was 2 orcs, like, one right behind the other, and I shot the first with one with an arrow, and then his blood splattered behind him, and then Scotty shocked him, and it shocked the blood and stunned the one behind him. Was just like,
all that shit.
What? Like, that's so cool.
It's really cool. I think the magic just wore off for me after about 30 hours. Like, I remember being super excited about all that stuff when I started playing Divinity 2, especially. Right. It's just after 30 hours, some of the magic stuff just wore off for me. So I think that's where kind of like
I guess it would wear off if you keep doing
and Divinity 2 is just really long.
I feel like in that instance, it would be better to play on a harder difficulty where you can't just do the same thing over and over. Like, did you ever have to be like, I've got a fire grenade?
What kind of character were you playing?
Well, I mean, I had the 4 different characters. I forgot the exact.
When you were playing single player with all those 4 characters?
Yeah. And
so I guess you would just end up optimizing the combat. Because, like, to me, it was like, well, I'm the assassin, so, like, I can only kill people who are, like, vulnerable to being assassinated, you know, not...
Yeah, no, I played with all 4 characters, and they were all pretty well balanced. I had dedicated healer, just like a standard group format.
Yeah, like, we didn't have, like, a healer, so we had to play, like, around that
and, like,
shit,
you know, of course, I'll be honest about it, like, I looked up builds, and, like, you know, I found
Yeah, we had, like, general ideas of the builds.
But why, though? Like, I mean, I guess you said you'd like to min-max, but
it's
like,
I like to min-max.
In a game, like, I know Scotty and I are just kind of going through. Like, we're just kind of doing our own thing.
So I have an impossible standard, basically, like, where I want to min-max, but still be challenged, I guess. Like, if I can min-max in a game and still, like, have a challenge, then that's, like...
Then I don't understand why you wouldn't play on a higher difficulty. If you're going to look up builds, right, which are already designed to, like, be efficient.
I know, it's not... I don't like fun. I don't like fun. Like, I'm anti-fun. Games aren't fun. Eve was fun the other night, and I like...
So strange.
What about Rocket League? Is Rocket League fun?
No, Rocket League's a job.
You find
speaking of job, you got a promotion recently at your job. Rocket League.
Oh.
Grand Wizard or something?
Grand Wizard.
Yeah, I'm a Grand Wizard in Rocket League. Lightning Bolt's level 9. I'm doing like 2,000 DPS.
That's crazy,
I'm super excited. We just hired a tank named Jandy. He drives a Dominus, which is kind of a tanky
Domino's
car.
truck. He can like throw pizzas out, right?
So like while I'm laying down the deeps, he's kind of getting in the other cars' faces and taking damage.
So this. Talking about Rocket League and how it sucks.
Sure.
I think some of the cars. So obviously, cars have different hitboxes.
So they've been standardized where like there's only 5 now, but yes.
Oh really? So I can play because like
they standardized so much in Rocket League. Like all the arenas of different shapes are gone out of like normal playlists.
Really, the Wasteland? I thought the Wasteland was.
Wasteland's been standardized. Everything's been standardized.
It still feels so giant to me.
It's not. When's the last time you played? It was pretty recent. I think it was in the last month that they fixed Wasteland. Fixed, according to community. Because we can't have non-standard fun things, because it's not a fun game. I agree with you. I mean,
that is not a fun game, then why play it?
I'm good at it. So.
I mean,
it's a cycle, right? Like, being good at it's fun, but the game is the job now.
I was talking to Sirius earlier, and I went... 0 kills, 11 deaths, and 11 assists.
I thought we were still talking about Rocket League.
No, real quick.
Like, 0 kills.
In League of Legends, right? I got fucking rolled, but I still had fun with it, even though I got, like, annihilated. I mean, you can't... Like, I played League for years. I played League for longer than you played Rocket League.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get why you... Alright, whatever.
No,
I don't get why you would
look,
play a game that you don't enjoy.
I'm exaggerating. I do have fun at times.
It's just that, like, when you're not
League.
having fun, it really stays with you
yeah.
afterwards. So you think about that a lot, where you're just like, why do I even fucking play this game?
I mean, I still am satisfied on a deep level where some awesome play happens, where I pass it to my teammate, and then he passes the third teammate who was already in the air, just hanging out in the air to, like, redirect. When I see that, I'm excited. It's fun.
I mean, you say you've been playing League longer than him, but I feel like Matt plays it more consistently consistently than either of us, right? Like we'd take breaks.
I played daily for 3 years.
He's played. You said 1,000 hours.
Yeah, about 1,000 hours.
I've easily put over 1,000 hours in the league.
Is it consistent though? Like, I guess that's like.
I mean,
it's consistent for a long time. The breaks are definitely shorter than any of the time
Okay.
you're playing consistently.
Yeah. See, I don't play like these. You guys probably play longer sessions than me. Like, I play daily, but some days I only play like an hour. So.
Also with League, I've been thinking about this too. That like part of the appeal of it is that it changes all the time.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So like Rocket League is always going to be like whatever 2v2, 3v3, put the ball in the goal.
So.
Right.
Okay.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
On a high level, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Not saying there is no meta to Rocket League or whatever, but
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. That's like a fear in
Mhm.
Rocket League is that the meta will become stale, but it's still being discovered. So we're not at that point yet,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
like
I
people.
feel like we've talked about this, and I've voiced that, and you told me I was retarded.
No,
I feel like
No.
I've been like, I feel like this game is gonna cap out, and you're like, it's just not possible.
it just hasn't. So I don't know if it's possible or not. It could happen. That's the fear,
it
right?
could happen,
The
right?
fear,
But then you can look at a game like Melee, which has been
Yeah.
unchanged since what 2001.
Yeah, I guess any.
People are still
and the
developing
meta-
new
yeah.
shit. The meta's still changing now. Pikachu's a top tier character. 2 years
Which
ago,
is
nobody played
hilarious.
Pikachu. You know.
And ideally,
guess
Rocket League is like that, but there are still people with like 4,000 or 5,000 hours played that are still discovering new shit. So hopefully, that
But
just
at the
keeps
same time, like with Melee, like the top 8s for every tournament for the past 5 years, are
Are
the
the
same.
same
Like
people.
it's like same 16 people who make it to the top 8.
up. Yeah, Rocket League in terms of RLCS, their main event, still has new teams. It has old teams and new teams, so it's
Yeah.
still fresh in that regard.
I guess at the end of the day, they could just add different maps, like
So-
not just the oval.
They can't. That's the problem. They
Why?
tried, and the community kind of rebelled. And
Well, the community, like, I mean, that's what I feel like. Everybody's gonna do that. Like, oh, I like the game right now because they haven't played a stale
it just
meta
didn't
yet.
add that much. Like different maps didn't change the game in a fundamental different enough of a way at a high level
Yeah.
for it to make a difference.
They would never make
for
like
it
a
to-
massive change.
Yeah, it just
like
didn't
now
change
your
the meta.
your boost goes down like 10% slower.
Yeah,
you
or
know?
well, like there was Tokyo, whatever, Neo Tokyo, and the whole gimmick of it was that there's ramps up on the side that are
Yeah.
elevated.
That
It
map's
kind of
up.
changes. It doesn't shake the meta in a profound way. So, like, I don't think they can do anything to maps without
Yeah.
going really out there. Like,
Yeah, well, you
so-
can compare that to like a Tekken map where there's like walled maps, endless maps with no
Yeah.
walls,
Yeah.
and maps with breakable walls.
yeah, but they don't change the meta that much.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's just like oh well.
Yeah.
What if this character's really good on endless stages? But it's not like he's useless if you're not playing on an endless
So-
stage.
I guess it doesn't, like, if you compare Rocket League to a fighting game, right? Where like nothing's gonna change. Fucking Ryu isn't gonna suddenly pull out some move you've
Yeah, he's
never
not going to
seen
become
before.
a charge character or
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
So it's like, I guess with Rocket League, it's kind of the same thing where it's like, yeah, they can do that same aerial maneuver, but it's like, what if they ground dribble? You know, I guess it kind of gets.
Yeah, that's what like
Yeah.
thinking about how like the Rocket League meta could change drastically. I think it would just be like changing the way that your booster works, how much boost you get from the refill things,
Yeah.
how quickly it goes down, or how
So
big
yeah,
the tank
Or,
the
like,
meta
just
they could
mechanical.
change the meta in that way. I just almost don't know why they would. I guess.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
reason for them to, unless they were just
Yeah.
like the game's getting stale. That's the only reason I could think.
I've watched Scotty's linked me some videos. God, excuse me, of this guy named Squishy or
Yeah,
something,
Squish Cloud9.
and he seems like,
He had an amazing shot last game.
I mean, he just seems like insanely better than just most other people mechanically, right?
no.
So that's like the average. Is
For like
people,
a top.
like the
I
fact that I
mean-
saw him like go off the ceiling, hit it down, right?
All right, let me put
and
this-
then hit
Cloud-
it midair, and then into the goal was just like,
That
Okay.
was like that was the shot I was talking about, and yeah, that was like a standout shot, and it's really impressive. But like to that point, like Cloud9 didn't win, so I mean, like
I'm not saying that they win, but it's like that could all. I mean, nobody.
he's not so.
But he is like pushing the meta, right? Because you can say the
Yeah.
same thing about like I don't know, go back to League of Legends, right? Insect didn't win all of his games, right?
Yes.
But he changed the way that you play Lee Sin.
Now I
know.
got fucking
Yeah.
insects.
So
yes,
yeah,
yes,
shots are still happening like that do affect. That was a shot that affected the meta. Where now like people are doing. I'm not going to describe exactly what he did because it's complex. It involves like landing all four wheels on the ball so you get a flip reset. Anyway, now people are starting to do that, and I'm seeing players in my game starting to attempt to do that. So yeah, shots are still being made
Yeah,
like
that's how
that.
the game
That
changes,
that
yeah.
informed the meta.
Because like in
so.
League of Legends, there was a time where like an Insect was the most like amazing
Yeah.
mechanical thing you do,
Yeah.
and now it's like if you want to play Lee at a silver level, you better know how to Insect.
Have to
you know.
insect.
Like,
Okay, and that being said,
so it doesn't ripple down that far in Rocket League. I'm seeing those changes in the game because I'm in the top 1%.
Yeah, you see changes faster.
It's trickling down to me, but that shit is not trickling to like platinum.
No,
Do you feel like it affects you negatively? Like, for example, there was Misfortune, right, who's an ADC, which is a carry role, right, that needs farm, but played in a support role, right? And she was playing in that role.
A lot of words.
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Sort of.
Okay, there was a carry played in the support role who doesn't need gold.
She needs the most resources,
There you
and
go.
then was played in a position that needs the least resources.
To counter specifically a support champion on the enemy team, right?
Okay.
That was played at like Worlds or some shit.
Yeah.
But then everybody in solo queue was like, "Holy shit! I don't understand why they picked this. I'm gonna pick it." So like, do you see in your games people attempting that squishy shot and then fucking up entirely?
Yeah, I see them fucking up. But I don't know. Rocket League is entirely a game of like 1 second mistakes, right? Like it's not so much like you're setting out to like you're going to make an amazing shot and you're going to make it in because it was an amazing shot. It's like, all right, there was a 1 second window where you're like waiting for them to make a mistake and they made a mistake. So like, yeah, people are messing up on that, but it doesn't like fundamentally change the course of the game necessarily because before that they were just out of position by like 2 centimeters and that got us a goal, right?
So I guess another question: do you feel what's more respectable in Rocket League, the solo threes? Like if you as a solo player, what's more respectable, solo threes or 3v3 standard or whatever?
You mean solo standard versus standard?
Yeah, sure.
So solo standard, like if you have a higher rank in one of them, is that what you're?
Yeah, like if you know Scotty's a 3v3 standard, whatever the fuck, at a high rank, and I'm a solo player.
This is not going to be the answer that like you were expecting, but solo standard's more respectable just because MMR is skewed in it, basically.
So
if you're champ 1 in solo standard, you're in the top like 1%, whereas if you're champ 1 in standard, you're in the top 5%. It's just because MMR is like because less players play it, and like there's other variables there. But
here's I guess I'm just lobbing complaints to you. We're not complaints, but like questions. So in League, if you want to do Baron, which is a very important objective, you need basically your whole team to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
or the right comp.
Yeah, or the right comp. But your carries, which are the people that do the most damage, aren't near you and are doing something else, right? You can't do Baron, right? And you can see that play. You can see you try and go for a play, but it doesn't work because X, right? But in Rocket League, you're talking about game of seconds, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I feel like, yes, there's like the quick chat function, and it's like, it only says so much. You can't be like, I'm going to bounce it off the wall and you're going to hit here, right?
So,
there is no button for that. It's just like, I'm going to pass.
So, okay, yes. And you, in like a competitive Rocket League game, you're in Discord, and instead of like, you might say a lot more in a game like League, with Rocket League, it's like, because everything's happening so fast, you say, I got it, I'm going up, I'm contesting. Like, these are the type of things that you would say. Just short, like,
but
one word,
I feel
2
like
word
saying,
things.
Like, that's like me saying, I'm gonna gank. You don't know what lane.
Yeah, but that's how. Well, like that's like the nature of the game. Because like in like real soccer, right? Like you don't have time to be like, hey, I'm gonna pass you the ball. You do an overlap run. This guy's gonna come in from the right. I'm gonna do a cross. It's gonna go to the second guy. Then he shoots
but
it. Like, you're just like, I'm going up the wing. I'm gonna shoot it.
You're playing with a team though. And like a team you've been with, unless you're doing like pickup soccer, but then it's like then it's kind of not really competitive. It's just kind of whatever.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that even if you're playing pickup soccer, right? If all these people are into the game and they like have studied the game to like a rudimentary level, right? Then you know that like if this guy doesn't even say if this guy's making like a run down the wing, I know like 9 out of 10 times he's gonna cross, 1 time he's gonna shoot. So then I'm going to go in and stand in the middle, and maybe the ball comes to me, maybe it doesn't, but that's what you're supposed to do.
So every sport,
playing with
we need voice comms.
Applied to...
I mean, they got voice comms at NFL, coaches in his ear telling him what to do.
Applied to Rocket League, beyond those short phrases, and this is a chemistry is said a lot in Rocket League. So earlier I said, like, Jandy and I have pretty good chemistry. That means if I'm in a certain position, I'm going to expect him to be... I'm going to rely on him to be in a position. So I'll say something like, I'll fly up and I'll be like, I'll say passing. And I expect him to be on the left side of the field. I'm going to throw the ball that way, and then he's going to know that to hit it into the goal.
I got it.
So it's very fast, like limited verbal.
I understand that, and I understand what you're talking about with sports. I guess my question is, do you find it frustrating for the more respectable rank to be solo and to have these moments where it's kind of like, because I feel like
You're talking about like your teammates letting you down? What
No,
do you mean?
not
What's
even
the point
like
you're getting to.
like in Rocket League, I feel like there's so many different angles or passes you could do, right? Like even more so than in like normal soccer, right? Because
Right,
like
yeah.
you see somebody make a move and like. I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, do you find it like there's some kind of barrier where you don't understand what they're necessarily going to do? Like you guess,
You
but
can have bad chemistry with a player
You
where
can
they
have-
never
you
on
can-
the end of your passes.
you can
right?
have bad chemistry,
and
but-
even more so than in League, because in League you can still type out. It's a slower game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing with Rocket League is I understand exactly what you're saying. And playing Rocket League is more like it's more of a feeling. Like you really are just like feeling it out. But beyond that, I think there's kind of like a standard like expectations of like pace and positioning that people follow. It's almost like this kind of like internal
Especially at the level you're playing at, they
Yeah.
understand the game on such a level.
yeah, it's like
if he's
there's
doing
this
he's probably
internal
gonna do this.
structure to it that everyone's kind of familiar with. So I don't need to communicate in any way with teammates, even if I've never played with them before, to have some kind of expectation of where they're going to be and how they're
I think
playing.
also,
It's a feeling. It's the
compared
best
to
way
League
I
of
can-
Legends, there's like a limited amount of options you can do, right? Because, or not options, but like you don't have to guess as much, right? Because like if I'm playing in a game of League, right, where it's like, okay, well we have a Darius top, I don't know what he's gonna build, if he's gonna split push, if he's gonna team fight, whatever. But in Rocket League, yeah, it's like we have the ball, we're trying to score. You know, there's like 2 or 3 ways we can go about it, but we're trying to score.
Right.
You know, either I'm going to go down the wing, or I'm going to go in the middle, or I'm going to boot it and I'm going to stay in the back.
Well,
right?
there's a lot more.
Yeah,
advanced
there's a
stuff
lot
about
more,
it.
but I'm
yes,
trying to like,
general
just
gist,
get it
yeah.
down to it, right?
Yeah.
We have the ball, we're trying to score. We don't have the ball, we're trying to get the ball back or stop them from scoring.
Yeah, it's a
right? But
finite-
in League, there's like 10 billion different things you could be doing to try to win
Yeah.
the game, you know?
I guess coming from League, I would just find it frustrating.
So,
But I understand how you play so much that you just kind of people play. on
Well,
Yeah,
what
to it,
Cirrus
yeah.
is basically getting at.
I mean, I
I'm
understand
going to
what
go
he's
down.
getting at.
I'm going to go down nerd route here.
We don't
but
have
it's
to go
just
down
like,
the nerd route.
I
We can
want
just
to.
skip
I'm
the
a
nerd
nerd.
route.
It's a finite state machine. There's only so many states you can be in Rocket League versus League of
Yeah.
Legends. League of Legends has more states, more possible ways to get to other states, whereas Rocket League is a more finite set of states.
Gotcha. Now that we've broken that one down.
Hey, dude, I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry, man. Rocket League's a bad
I want to
game.
play.
You do need to be sorry, Ian, because you've been playing fucking Guilty Gear. Are you going to talk about it? You
Guilty
gonna puss
Gear?
out?
Come
I
on,
played
man.
Guilty Gear for
How
about
many
30 minutes
states
at
are in
Scotty's
Guilty
house.
Gear?
Literally an infinite amount of states. I've been watching. So Guilty Gear is
Anime fighting game.
anime fighting
2D
game
fighting game.
by the company that does Dragon Ball Z, Fighters, whatever.
That was quick.
What do you mean? This is
This
released
has been
forever.
as old.
Oh, okay.
It's just
I was
like Dragon Ball Fighters is like the popular. Like anime fighting games aren't popular except for Dragon Ball.
Is it popular?
It's massively popular.
Dragon Ball?
Yeah. What's like?
Yeah, I
is it
mean-
are most people playing on Steam or like what are we talking
A lot of
about?
It's
people play it
kinda
on
all
Steam,
over.
but
Okay.
I think the most people are
the
on
way that
PSN.
people like the way I guess you judge popularity for a fighting game is like entrance at tournaments, right? So
Okay.
like, tournament entries, and Dragon Ball Z is like
Okay.
up there with like.
I'm just
Street
wondering. I haven't
Fighter
heard. You guys are saying it's
levels.
popular. I'm like I haven't heard
It's
that much
it's
about
massively
Well-
well when it released. I don't know. It might be losing steam. They're still putting out DLC. They just announced Vegito
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other day, or leaked Vegito, I
So, yeah.
guess.
I was just wondering popularity and what content.
I mean, so for this kind of gets into a whole different thing that I was talking to somebody the other day about. Fighting games, like I feel like, are such a good game, but the problem is you have to know so many things beforehand that it's just kind of like
I do. I think one of my favorite things about fighting games is that to me, I just feel like it's like the purest
Yeah,
competition.
it's just like
between that and like StarCraft RTS.
Yeah.
like those are like the most pure levels of competition.
So
Yeah.
the problem is like Dragon Ball Fighters was a commercial success, right? But the people that are playing it now, or I'm sure there are some people that don't play fighting games that are now playing it still because they enjoy it. But it's like,
But it was their first fighting
yeah,
game.
it's like it's mostly, you're into fighting games, so you enjoy Dragon Ball, or you just pick it. Like if Joe Schmo picks it up, he's not going to be like, oh,
Yeah, a lot of
what's
people
it-
bought this game because they like Dragon Ball and not fighting
Yeah, they're-
games.
That's fair.
And those people are probably done with the game.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, I can down heavy a super dash because I have
Yeah,
upper
they're not
torso
the people who are gonna like go
invincibility.
and
You
look
know?
up guides about like
Sure.
fixing their comp.
Yeah,
like,
there's
how to
people that
optimize cell combos.
there's people that
or
play
whatever.
Rocket League because it's like it's fun to hit a soccer ball. Right?
Yeah, so the
Like,
problem
I don't
is
know, kind of-
Guilty Gear is infinitely harder than Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball was made still hard, still very difficult,
yeah.
but it was made to appeal more so to a casual audience.
Yeah.
Not like a bad thing.
Yeah,
There's
but
still
like if it's your first fighting game,
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
still-
a gateway fighting.
there is
game,
still a
right?
ton of skill involved, right? But Guilty Gear is just like they basically made it for Japanese players, or I forget who mostly plays. I think it's Japanese players.
Arcade, yeah.
Mostly
Goichi's a Guilty Gear champ. I think.
Yeah. It's just like there's so many systems in place and so many little things and shit. The game doesn't even tell you that are like in the game. That's just like it's really fun, and I enjoy it because I have so many options. Like what I was talking about, if somebody super dashes in Dragon Ball, thank you. One of the most like basically the move is to just down heavy. Right?
Yeah.
But the only factor is your reactability.
Dragon Ball Z fighting is pretty flowcharty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
if they do this, then you do this.
Yeah.
in Guilty Gear, it's different because they've added so many systems and it's like such a dense game that it's like it's not just that. There's so many things and it's really fun. Granted, it's also like I'm kind of new to it, so
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to the parts where it's like, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, if so and so does this, then I do this, right? But I don't know. I mean, I really like the game, but that being said, there's probably 200 people playing it on PSN and then 200 people playing it on Steam. So it's like, it's not popular unless, like, you're not going to go to a local, which is like a smaller tournament, and play Guilty Gear. It'll really only be at like bigger ones.
But Arxis has more. Is Arxis the one behind the Persona one that's coming out?
The
Or-
Blaze Blue Cross Tag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's their big one this year.
Hopefully.
Yes,
I mean, I think it's
Dragon
still
Ball.
going to be the exact same thing
Oh
as...
yeah, it's way too complicated to get mass appeal.
Yeah, so it's just like,
yeah.
it sucks, but it's like, you've got to just... Anime fighting games are going to be that. They're going to be small, except for Dragon Ball, because it's got the Dragon Ball name.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like any like say metal music, right? Like if with like there's like a ceiling, right? For if you're like a metal band with like screaming vocals, right? There's a ceiling for your popularity.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that. It's like fighting. They're just like so complicated. Like unless you dumb it down so that the hardcore people don't like it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like
It's like
yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Cool.
Is that the end of the podcast? Did
think
we
so.
do it?
Well, I need to get going.
Matt's
you guys
gotta
can
leave
wrap
for
it up
his-
if you want, but
I mean, we can't do the podcast without you, except for
Yeah.
last time we did.
yeah,
it.
last time we
Put
did
it out there.
that.
Yeah, I don't.
I-
I don't wrap it up. I just pull out so we can just end it right
There you
now.
go.
Yeah, I need to go play ESL tournament, Rocket League. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
man,
my
you
first
gotta rep
tournament.
that casually
so-
toxic name, dude. You better win.
You guys might be on Twitch. I have no fucking idea. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys might be able to see Casually Toxic completely fail.
I'll watch it.
Well,
Hell yeah,
I'll go
dude.
ahead and
the first of many failures.
yeah, I'll go ahead and defame our name on Twitch in front of like however many people are watching ESL Rocket League,
Hell
and
yeah.
we'll work from there.
All right, man. Well,
I could really cheese it. I could set my name to our YouTube.
Do it. They click on it. People are trying to watch a podcast with 6 views.
I thought this was a Rocket League podcast. Hey guys, we're
We're
gonna
not
have
even
to-
on the most
I'm
recent
sorry,
episode.
but if I do well, we're gonna have to transition to a Rocket League. It's gonna.
All right, I'll become a Rocket League pro.
I'd rather.
I was
die.
trying not to. I wanted to let you guys have your chance.
Yeah.
But duty calls.
All right. Well,
All right, that was a good one.
Thanks
I
for
saw
tuning in.
Avengers. Avengers was good.
yeah, I need to see
Thor's
that. I
dope.
think I might go see that tomorrow.
It's good.
Good shit.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
All right.
Nothing
All
else
right.
going on really.